Pope Pius X is one of the most important popes of the 20th century. And in fact, one might say of all centuries, because of the times we're in, when the church is at a lower ebb than it has ever been. And I include in that even considering the Arian crisis of the 4th century. This is a time of mass apostasy when not even the faithful in large parts, particularly the heartland of the faith, Europe, have apostatized. Jesus gave these visions of Maria Valtorta not to tickle our fancy, not to satisfy our curiosity, not to just give us some spiritual edification. He sets out, and I've set it out myself in one of my initial videos. He gave us these visions for particular reasons, and one of the major reasons is to combat the heresy of modernism, which denies the truths of the Catholic faith. And the chief combatant of modernism was Pope Pius X, canonised by the Holy Pope Pius XII in, I think, 1954. I may have that date wrong. So I'm going to read now from the vision given to Maria Valtorta of that great and holy sainted Pope. This vision was given to Maria Valtorta on February the 8th, 1946. It is contained in the third set of Maria Valtorta's notebooks covering the period 1945 to 1950. Kindly, candid and good-natured, the figure of Holy Pope Pius X appeared to me at the time of Holy Communion. He came forward just as he surely looked in his final days, slightly obese, burdened by ailments, with his silent gait somewhat shuffling, his shoulders somewhat bent, rounded, supporting a head covered with silvery hair, already haloed with splendour, above his short neck, with a youthfulness in the flesh of his elderly face, and a virginal sweetness in the gaze of his limpid, serene eyes. He was wearing the white clothing of the pontiffs, but without a red mantle or camorra. Oh, not at all. He was a priest dressed in white rather than black, that's all. But he was so much himself that he was more venerable than if he'd been in the magnificence of pontifical apotheoses, amid banners and flabella, shining guards, the red of cardinals, and so on. He was the Holy Pope. He uplifted his short, chubby hand to bless me. He spoke. Woman blessed by the Lord and the Immaculate Virgin, may the Lord and Mary always be with you. Do not take offence, blessed one. Continue on your way. The Lord is pleased. Be simple, increasingly simple, like a child. One of those children whom our blessed Lord so loved. Feed on the Eucharist, because you are the little host that is consecrated only when our Lord Jesus Christ is transubstantiated in the large host. The more you feed on the Holy Eucharist, then the more you become a host with him. O blessed one, if I were on the throne of Peter, and they told me that there was a creature who'd become a voice after having been a voluntary cross, I would not leave you in this anguish, but I would have comforted you with my blessing, reading the blessed pages on my knees. Remain a girl, won't you? Always a girl, a little John, with your eyes free from all malice, and your heart free from all pride, to understand the most blessed Master at all times, who provides instruction for the good of many. The Eucharist and simplicity, the way of the children of love. Saint Therese's way, and also mine, as a poor servant of the Lord, who was still amazed at having become a pontiff after being a priest. And he wept gently, humble and holy in his weeping, as he was holy in his smile. He lifted up his head and looked at me again. He too, a big child. His expression was so pure. He again smiled at me. A momentary pause here. St Pius X is also famous not just for being one who was against the heresy of modernism and sought to extirpate it from the church. He's famous for allowing children to receive Holy Communion, and regularly. So this emphasis on Maria Valtorta being a child shows that he saw, one might say like Jesus saw, the holiness of children. Resuming. I give you my blessing. Are you happy? I bless you, soul of the Lord and of Mary Most Holy. Continue in patience and faith. In paradise, nothing is remembered except having always done the most holy will of God, and in this one is blessed. Paradise is so beautiful that none of the lovely things you can see equal it. You could not see paradise as it is because your heart would burst. When you get the chance, send my blessing to that blessed soul, Sister Giuseppina. Tell her that her patriarch always remembers the institutes of the Most Holy Child Mary, and especially those very dear ones of his Venetian region. Peace, peace to those places and those who live there. And peace to you, little child of my Jesus. Goodbye. Always remember the Pontiff of Children and the Eucharist. He again raised his hand in blessing, and the whiteness of the woolen robe turned into an incandescence in which St. Pius X was transfigured and disappeared. And now I can say that I too have seen a pontiff. And what a pontiff! Did I transcribe his Venetian words correctly? I tried to represent his words as I heard them being pronounced, but I don't know the Venetian dialect. I've been in Romagna, Lombardy around Milan, Pavia, Florence, Reggio Calabria and Viareggio, but never in the Venetian area. But I was very happy that he spoke to me so informally, like a good pastor, as when he was one in his Venetian region. And he was already holy and great in the sight of God, as when, acting as the patriarch and later as the pontiff, he would linger informally with his friends, with the simple folk, with whom the very humble and holy Pope Pius X must have felt quite at ease. Just to conclude there, Pius X was of peasant origin, and he was the Patriarch of Venice. So this fact that he's speaking in the Venetian dialect to her, even from heaven, is interesting, and her difficulty because of the differences in the dialects in Italy is referred to there, but no doubt Christ ensured that the essence of what the Holy Pope wanted to say was received and recorded accurately by Maria Valtorta.